Question: where were the first shares issued? In 1288, the Swedish mining company Stora Kopparberg issued the first joint stock shares. Buyers of these shares became co-owners of the company and simultaneously of the largest copper deposit at that time. Question: where was the first European Parliament held? The Parliament is an assembly of elected representatives whose decisions are binding on society. The first European Parliament was probably the Icelandic Althing. Over 1,000 years ago, the first parliamentarians gathered for general meetings in the open air at Thingvellir, 50 kilometers from Reykjavik. The Parliament's decisions, which had the force of laws, were announced from a specific rock. Incidentally, this custom existed even 200 years ago. The first Parliament in European history, representing all classes, met in England in 1212. In this body, impoverished peasants also gained the right to vote for for the first time. However, the democracy of ancient Greeks, by our standards, does not deserve such a name. Civil rights, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, and certainly the right to participate in lawmaking were enjoyed even during the heyday of Athens only by the upper echelons of society. Question: what is the largest amount ever written on a check? The largest check known was written for 44 billion marks. That's 44 million dollars 4.4x dar10 hours 13 marks. The Tverdaja Marka Bank in Lower Saxony promised to pay this amount on the check in 1923. However, it should be noted that at that time, due to currency devaluation, the so-called hyperinflation, even a simple roll could cost hundreds of thousands of marks. Question: how many rooms are in the largest residential house? Buckingham Palace in London is probably the largest residential house in the world. Its 605 rooms are occupied by the English royal family and, of course, a huge number of service personnel. The palace was built at a time when England had colonies all over the world and could exploit their wealth. Question: how much do rooms in the most expensive hotels cost? Astronomical prices at the Astrogomagway Hotel, World of Stars, in the Texas city of Houston. One night in the Celestial Suites cost $3,000. In comparison, the apartment's Venerutza, beautiful view, in the luxurious hotel Four Seasons in Munich seem almost cheap. A day's stay in these 200 square meter apartments costs about 1,000 marks, and you can enjoy a beautiful view, Veyopa, of the Frauenkirche Church from the windows. Question: who sleeps in the smallest hotel rooms? In some hotels in Tokyo, you can get a room that is essentially just a niche for a bed. An adult there cannot even stand up to full height. These boxes are 1.5 meters high, as wide, and 2 meters long. But since they are relatively cheap, they are always occupied, they say. The fact is that many Japanese businessmen who come to the capital briefly on business cannot afford an extremely expensive room in Tokyo.